Hi everyone, it's EstaRa with a message for you. Today is Saturday, November 11th, 2017. It's the 11/11 Gateway. So happy 11/11 and happy twin flame energies. Yay. So I wanted to leave you a brief message today, just kind of giving you an update on what is going on energetically. Lots of challenges have come up this week. Lots of energy waves that have been pushing through everybody to kind of get you to that next layer and next step. But I want to talk a little bit about 11/11. So back in 2011, the 11/11/11 Gateway, I was in Sedona, Arizona, at a conference channeling and doing readings, and we held this massive, actually we had three beautiful medicine wheels going on. So one was on a mountain and there was two down beneath, and then one was a divine feminine, one was divine masculine, and at the mountain top it merged the two lower ones merged into that one up on top of the mountain. And it was funny because when this was all happening, I was participating in the divine feminine medicine wheel, and that actually felt right for me, and I didn't realize that's what I was participating in until later on. And so as the day ensued on 11/11/11, as the time had gone on that evening, we were all around a campfire near the divine feminine medicine wheel. Meanwhile, there was a divine masculine medicine wheel being created by another group, but we were connected to them, but we didn't actually understand that the energy was feminine and masculine at the time. So that evening, I was sitting around the fire, and I said to my friends, my newly found friends there, I said, you know, I really need to go to the top of the mountain, but I'm freaking out because there's rattlesnakes everywhere, and I'm totally phobic of snakes, so how do I do that? So I ended up asking a friend of mine to walk with me up to the mountain that evening, and when I went to the top of the mountain, it became really clear to me there was a reason I was bringing my energy up to the top of that mountain. And so I was like awed and awed by that, and it was amazing. And then I went back down, and then next day we all came together. The next day was 11/11/11, and we came together at both medicine wheels. So we were at the feminine, and then we went over to the divine masculine, and then we went together up to the top of the mountain, and that's where the merge took place of the divine feminine, divine masculine. We anchored that energy. While that was all happening that night, I was getting tons of information about my twin flame. He was reaching out to me. It was really weird. I had gone away, and I told him I was away, and he still kept reaching out to me, emailing me and calling me. And I remember distinctly thinking something really wild is happening here. And what occurred to me was that was the energy of union. And that's why a lot of divine masculine, divine feminine have been awakened right before 2011 and right after 2011. Like almost everyone had been awakened after the 2011 energy. Whether you're aware of it at all or not, it might be just simply that you're getting out of relationships with other people, or you were moving to a new location, or all these things were kicking up inside of you to make you shift into the new place. And that's what happened to me. I actually moved that year to where I am currently, and I feel like the time is coming for another shift. And it's really funny because when I say this to you, that was 6 years ago, and 7 years, there's always like this 7-year cycle that I find happening. And so next year will be 7 years, and it'll be time for me to move on out of here without realizing the timeline and stuff. So that's just a little aside from everything. So anyway, so when that happened that night, I went back to the room and I merged with my twin at night, and then I woke up the next day realizing that's what had happened. But when I woke up, my guides let me know that that was actually the beginning of the love train, if you will, the 2011 love train. And so that love train, they said, was coming in, and it was going to awaken all of humanity. And it's not just going, it's going to awaken all the twins. And so all twin flames were being awakened at that time. You know, I'm getting this little image as if like little fairy dust was being sprinkled upon everyone that's out there that's a twin flame, to like wake them up to who they are and what's next for them. So that was the really big thing. So once that happened, I started to feel like there's something important about this, and I need to keep making this energy happen here and keep using that gateway, because that's what this gateway is about. It's about bringing us together as one. Now, on a grander scheme, it's about bringing humanity together as one. Now, being one does not mean you assimilate and you become the other person, or you become like the other person. What it means is you become more understanding of each other, and you recognize the differences in one another, but you honor them, you respect them, and you actually take joy in knowing there's differences and uniqueness to each one of us as individuals, but all together we mean something for each other, and we're all necessary to be on this planet to create the changes we want, and we're all necessary to be here now at this time. So with all of that, on the global energy, that's what I've been trying to catapult us forward, trying to use that energy, bringing it together and bringing us forward into our future on this planet. Because every year at the 1111 Gateway, that reawakening, that remembering, if you will, the love train, definitely the remembering, bringing that energy back of unity and oneness. And so I use this time for my community of clients and students that are local, and I host a gathering together on this day. And so I'm actually preparing for that now, and this is my little quick moment to leave you a video and message for the day, and then I'm going to go on and do my stuff. But I wanted to open that up to all of you. If you wish to etherically join in my oneness celebration, my meditation that I do this evening with my group, you're more than welcome to. I'll give you the details in just a moment. But in terms of the twin flame, it is specific for twin flames as well. It's not just the global oneness, the global connection. It's also about the merge and the union of twin flames. So about the divine masculine, divine feminine coming together. And right now, it is so necessary on our planet, because that is what's going to bring the balance that we are so lacking. We're in extremes, right? So there's like all these extremes happening. You're either feeling this way or that way. You're not in the balance. And I'm saying you, but I mean collective you. I don't mean you specifically. I mean the collective of all of humanity. Okay, so that's part of what's happening. So what I do on this day is I host this gathering. We do this beautiful, healthy, alternative eating thing. So it's vegan, it's gluten-free, and it's like an amazing meal, to be honest with you. But then afterwards, I always host a meditation. And so the meditation is on oneness and on unity. And I'm not quite sure what I'll be doing this evening. I definitely feel some energies preparing me for this evening. I've been feeling that since I woke up this morning. And what's going to happen is at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that's like New York time, so wherever you are on the globe, if you can connect in with us at that time, or if you're not awake and you're not available, just intend to reach into that energy, whether it's before or after you watch this video, because even if you watch this video and it's already taken place, if you just tune into the energies and send your energy there, you'll access it. Because remember, only in the earth dimension is there a time and space. In other dimensions, there is no such thing as time and space, so everything's happening currently now. So what we do is we do a meditation, coming together, bringing ourselves into unity, and really getting to like connect with one another. And then we're going to do a releasing ritual. And that releasing ritual, you can do this yourself. All you need to do, and I guide my students all the time with this, I do it myself. What I recommend that you do is take about 5 minutes and tune into what it is you want to release. And so I say 5 minutes because if you take any longer, then you're stretching, you're reaching, you're trying to make it the perfect thing. Instead, I'd rather you take the first thing that pops in, because that first thing you pop into is the thing that you're really ready to release and let go of. So I want you to tune into that, figure out what that is for you, write it down. You can write a page, a book. If it's a person, you don't have to release the person. You could release the ick of the relationship. So with me and my twin over the years, I can't tell you how many times I've released the ick of our relationship. You know, that twin flame dynamic, that back and forth, and the old patterns that just weren't working for me anymore and weren't good for me. I released all of that quite often. I never released him fully, but I released those pieces of him, the patterns, the behaviors that we were keeping going, and I didn't want that anymore. So that actually gives such a relief, and it's really powerful to do that. So if that's something that you've been plagued by and things have been bothering you, then you might want to release the ick of your relationship. So all the things that you're not happy about, meaning all the negative patterns, the behaviors that you throw back and forth at one another, you might want to release that. And so here's the thing. You want to release that part of you too that's been participating in it, and the part of you that's been actually actively making that happen with your twin. So now it takes two to have that interaction and pattern. So my twin can't keep a pattern if I'm not willing to buy into it. So if that makes sense to you, then you'll understand what I mean about releasing your piece of it. Let's see, what else do I want to tell you about releasing? Okay, so you're going to write it all out. It can also be the place you're leaving. Like you're leaving an area to go somewhere new, you can do that as well. You can release anything, illness, pain, whatever you've been going through, you can release that. I know for me, I know exactly what I'm releasing. I'm not going to share it because I really feel like I want to hold that in and allow that to happen. So you want to write it all down, fold it up, and then you want to burn it. You want to send it into a fire if you have the ability to burn it. Be very careful, don't do it indoors. Or you can shred it, as simple as that. It really is not it doesn't have to be a grand thing. I mean, we're doing it as a releasing ritual here as a group, because there's a group of us that will be participating. But if it's just you, you can still do this and perform it. The other part of it is, once that is done, I want you to say a forgiveness prayer. You can do the Ho'oponopono, which is the most simple and easiest prayer, and that is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And I do that every day. Like, that's something I do before I go to bed every night. It's something I do every morning before I start my day. It's like, just gets me into that space of opening my heart and releasing anything I've been holding on to. So that is one piece. So that's something that you would do afterwards. And if you're doing this with a person, you can actually visualize that person in front of you and say it to them directly. If it's not to a specific person and it's about a space, you can just say it to that space. Forgiveness is really, really key. Once that is done, then you are more than welcome to jump up and down, dance, do whatever you feel like doing. I will bring everyone back in and we will do another piece of the meditation. But that is the biggest part of letting go and clearing. And then we will anchor that energy. Once that's done, we'll come back in, anchor the energy of new, and let that stuff just melt off of us. And I'm not sure exactly the way it's going to go exactly, because what happens is my guides will come through and we work on the energy of the space. So it depends on the people there, you know. But that's what you can do to tune in. But then I want you to meditate on your union, on your mission, and on the fact that it's time. The time is now. Capture this love train energy. Capture the energy of love that is coming directly to you right now. Because the universe, it's almost as if the gates have opened and they're like, we're here. We're coming. And ironically, it's also the time that most of us feel the most disconnected and out of alignment with our twin. And the reason being is because just imagine you're kind of going on your merry little way, or your twin is going on their merry little way, and this gate of love just opens up and pours in. What do you think it's doing? It's opening your hearts. So if it's opening your hearts, any blocks or obstructions start to surface, right? Because they're like, hey, no, we can't have that love in here. Not now. Let's stop it. Let's stop that love. Instead, we're going to allow it to come through. And so in order for it to come through, though, it has to pummel through those blocks. So that's why you might feel a little blockage. You might feel a little separation. You might feel a little disconnected. But know that you're always connected to your twin. You're never disconnected. That's always there. That connection will be there long before you're physical on this earth and long after you're physical on this earth, because it's an eternal merging connection that you have and you've had since the beginning of time. And so I just want to share all that with you and honor each one of you today on our day of love, because I consider this a day of love. And I wish you many blessings for a beautiful, blessed union. And I'm hoping I'll be able to come back with you next week with another message and some updates and some other information that I feel is really important. And if I get any great things tonight, I'm going to try and have somebody record me. If I do, and I promise to share that, you'd have to look for it on either Facebook or through my email, because I don't know if I can share that on YouTube. I don't really know how to do that yet. So we'll figure that out, if that's a doable thing or possibility. So I send you all love and light. Namaste. Many blessings for a beautiful 1111 gateway.